is Meenakshi, and I live in Bangalore. I live in Hebbal. The reason I'm here today is I was talking to Padma, and she invited me very sweetly to share my story. I'm a cancer survivor. I had breast cancer 5 years ago, and today I would just like to share my journey on how I managed and what I did with it. And I've been blessed that I've been in 5 years in remission now. It's not been an easy road, but I'm still very, very grateful to God that I'm still alive and I'm able to do so many things that I want to do. So I'm going to take you on a little journey. This was in 2017. I work in a marketing agency as a creative director. And that simply means that I have a very hectic schedule. I used to work 16 hours a day. I used to travel at least 150 days in the year, doing events, managing, my team, getting clients, the usual corporate stress that somebody would go through. Um, I had just turned 40, and in 2018, actually, was traveling a lot, and in January, I had this very bad cold and cough with a ear pain. And because of that, I decided to take some time out and go to the hospital to show my ear. And while I was sitting there waiting for the ear doctor to come, something told me to go and see the gynecologist as well. And that's when I met the gynecologist. And the first thing when she examined me, she said, you have a lump and you need to get it tested immediately. And that's where it all began. This was Vikram Hospital on Millers Road at that point. I went home. I told my husband that I have to get a mammogram and a biopsy done immediately. And we did that. This was in January of 2018. And by third week of Jan, they had confirmed that this was stage 3 breast cancer and quite aggressive, if I may say so. I don't want to get into the details of the medical diagnosis because firstly, being told that you're in stage 3 and you may not survive it because you've reached a certain stage in the disease. So the one thing that I was very clear the day I got to know, I went down. We were standing on the road on Millers Road, trying to figure out what we are going to do and how we will proceed now. And the one thing I told my husband is that I want to live, and that's it. I'm not going to die by this. And that was my only conviction on that day. And I told him that, I'm not sure why people are so afraid of this word that starts with C. I know so many plenty words that start with C that can make a big difference to my life. And one of them is courage. So the day I got my report is the day I decided that the only thing that is going to be in my head is that I am courageous and I'm going to live. Of course, after that, the whole journey started of trying to find the right doctor, the treatment. Because I was at a certain stage, not many doctors wanted to give me hope that I may survive and I will live it. I did go to many hospitals. Some of those experiences was not very pleasant. I was told very nasty and rude things, which I didn't like at all. I had doctors, specialists telling me that I have breast cancer because I don't have children, which I found very, very hurtful. And I didn't understand that logic. I had someone telling me that, oh, you're a working woman, so you have got cancer. And this was coming from doctors in very famous hospitals of Bangalore. And I was very upset. And I said, how can you, if you're talking to me like this, you definitely are not the right person to treat me. So I actually went to about 7 hospitals in Bangalore. And finally, I met one doctor, Dr. Anthony Pius. He was practicing at Site Care at that point. When I met him, he was the first person who told me that it's fine, it's okay. And because I wanted to get treated by him, I went to Site Care, and that made all the difference in my recovery. And I still give them a lot of credit because I'm alive and I'm happy and I'm fine. So obviously everyone knows that there is chemo and there's surgery and there's radiation. There's a whole lot of process that you have to go through if you want to at least be cancer free. So for 1 year, my treatment was designed by the Site Care doctors. What is very important and what I feel went well in my way was that except for being in the hospital for 2 weeks when I had my surgery, I didn't take even one day of leave. I worked round the clock. I did everything that I was doing, managing my team. I did the best events of my career during that time. A huge centennial celebration. I traveled length and breadth of India with that catheter on my left hand. So that is in summary that's how good the doctors at SiteCare were. The first thing they told me was, don't read anything. Don't go on Google. Google is not your doctor. We will tell you what you need to do. We will watch out for you. We will ensure that you have the best care that can be given to somebody in your stage of cancer, and what we can do for you. So I did. A few things that I definitely did is that before I went for my chemo, I knew I was going to lose my hair. So I went and cut it really short. And I said, I'm not going to allow pain to hit me as badly as it can hit me. So I prepared myself, my husband and I prepared the house in such a way that if I need to rest, if I need things, I'm well taken care of. So we spent 1 week before chemo prepping for what was going to come. It was around the time of Feb 3rd or 4th, which is World Cancer Day, was my first chemo, in fact. And so we prepped ourselves. I went and got the chemo done. Um, again, I think I'm very blessed because after the PIC line surgery, when they gave me the chemo, it was, of course, a whole day at the hospital. I came back home and I was lying down and my mother came to visit me. My brother, my mother, my in-laws, they all live in Bangalore. So it was quite a thing to firstly tell them and then have them see me go through this. So she came to see me and she told me, don't move, don't do anything, just rest it out. You've had chemo, it's difficult, etc. And my husband asked me only one question. He said, how are you feeling? And I said, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling okay. I'm a little nauseous, but I'm okay. So he said, if you're feeling okay, why are you lying down? Why don't you just get up and do your thing, whatever you do? So to take a pause away, I must tell all of you that I'm also an artist. I love painting. I love reading. I'm very passionate about books. I have a book club of my own that I've just started. I write. So these are things that I do at home. I garden. I love taking care of my plants. I love cooking for people. So he said, just get up and you know, do your normal thing. When you feel tired, lie down. But if you're not feeling tired and if you're not feeling drained, why are you lying down? And that hit me that maybe I have to not go by the conventional things that I have read, seen in movies of what happens to people who have cancer and find my own path here. The next morning at 9:30, I was in office. So I must tell you all that it was quite humorous because I used to go to office every day. I was one of the most punctual people. By 9:30, I would be in office. I would work till 8:39 in the night and then come back home. My chemo was once in 2 weeks at that point. Um, so, of course, my management had given me all the liberty to take leave if needed, and I could have stayed at home. But that just didn't help me. I was very happy at work. I did whatever I could, to stay normal. Interestingly, in my office, they would bet, they would humorously check whether I will come because I would go for chemo and then straight away go to office after the chemo and then go home in the night. So people in office used to bet, will she come, won't she come? I found that very normal. I didn't think it was anything great that I was taking chemo till 11 o'clock and then going to office straight after and working till 9 in the night. Um, there was something inside me that just said that if you want to live, you better live normally. And my whole purpose of taking the treatment was that cancer cannot define me. This treatment cannot define me. It is going to harm my body. It is going to make me weak. It is going to make me feel something that I've not felt before, but it is not something that can break my spirit. And that's what was my constant uh, reassurance to myself that my spirit can't break, my stamina can't go. I have to be alive. I cannot let cancer define my life. And believe me, it was an effort, but if I look back, I can tell you that there's nothing that I did not do. Yes, I would not eat outside food as much. I was not drinking or anything. But if someone invited me for a party, I would definitely go and dance and, stay up till 2 in the morning partying with them or having fun, chatting, going out. I did everything possible from a social, professional, and a personal point of view. Um, some of the interesting things that I would like to share. I know I'm talking to a certain set of audience. You may not understand my profession, but I'm in the space of events. When you're doing an event, day, night, lunch, dinner, nothing matters. Things just blur. There are times when you're standing on your feet for 12 hours, you've not eaten anything. There are times when you're up the whole night and you sleep barely for 2 hours and then you kind of get back to work. And that's the kind of life I was living while going through my chemo as well. One of a very interesting incident that happened in Delhi. I had finished my third chemo and we had a very big event in Delhi. It was in a five-star hotel. I went over there and let me share with you that what was my realization at that point. So I had the catheter on my left arm and the catheter has to be sealed and no water can get in, otherwise it will cause an infection. So which means when you're bathing, you have to be very careful. You have to literally bathe with one hand and make sure that your catheter hand arm does not get wet. I went and I realized that no five-star in Delhi has a bucket or a mug. They only have showers. My biggest challenge was not conducting that event or starving myself. My biggest challenge was finding a way to have a bath. And that's when I realized that that is where inclusivity comes in. That is where so many things hit you. And I was like, an event, a stressful event could not upset me, but what has upset me is I can't have a bath properly. It of course even amused me, and then I'm just giving you one of the most gory details that I had to ask them for a big bottle so that I could fill from the tap and then just have a shower because I was there for 3 days. I couldn't have gone on without a shower. Unfortunately, the hotel could not even accommodate buying a bucket or a mug for me, and that was quite embarrassing that a five-star property could not do that. So that those were small things that I struggled with. One interesting incident, I know I'm going back and forth, but I'm just trying to articulate that in this journey, which is my first chemo cycle, which went on from February to April. I finished my second chemo. It was 8 days after my birthday, I think. And I went to Goa. I went to Goa with 17, 18 of my colleagues, not even family or friends. I went and asked my doctor. I said, I'm going through chemo. Is it okay if I go to Goa? And he said, of course it is. And it's okay if you eat outside food. I'm not going to stop you. And just go have a good time. And I had all sorts of apprehensions that, are you sure? What if I feel nauseous? What if I feel drained out? What if something happens to me? And he was this very sweet, humorous oncologist I had who said, nothing will happen to you. You are a normal person. If you feel nauseous, take Avomin in the flight. If you feel tired, just go and take a nap. There is nothing abnormal about you feeling tired. Normal human beings feel tired in Goa, so it's okay. And let me tell you, that was one of the best holidays I had with a bald head covered on a bandana and me going and having such a good time riding, like a Harley kind of a bike and doing all sorts of things and coming back after a great holiday. So those are some of the things that I did. One thing that I want to share with you all, because this has come to me a lot post the treatment, is after the second chemo, I started losing my hair. And that was, I think, the only time I felt very pained. The first time I cried, actually. I hadn't cried till then. I never felt sorry for myself. I never felt that, oh, I have cancer. There was no thought like that. But the day a lump of hair came into my hands, I think that's the first day I broke down. Of course, now what you see is very scanty hair because of chemo. I had really long hair at that point before I got diagnosed, and it was one of my pride points. I thought I had great hair. So the first time I cried was, when I started losing my hair. Again, I prepared myself. I ordered a wig from Singapore for myself with a lovely haircut. It was like a pixie haircut. Went to the parlor, got my head shaved, wore the wig, and I said, okay, I'm not going to cry. I've cried once, but I need to take charge and I need to find the solution to keep myself happy. In my life, I've never cut my hair so short. So wearing the pixie wig was a really treat, like a new thing for me that, okay, I have short hair now. The one thing again I realized over there is that it seems very fancy to wear wigs, but they're very painful. I really have a lot of respect for actresses and professionals and people who wear wigs every day. It used to give me a headache. It used to give me marks over here, which used to be just red because it's not easy to wear a wig, for a larger part of your day. Um, but I was wearing it. I was a little embarrassed about being bald in public. I went and met a friend of mine. She's a very dear friend who actually at that point, her mother was dealing with ovarian cancer. So we were talking about it, and she said, you're the only one who can pull off baldness with confidence. And she made me realize that it's just a part of me and I shouldn't be embarrassed about it. And that was the last day I wore the wig. I wore the wig exactly for 3 weeks. And after that, I said that if people need to see me, they need to see me as who I am. And I just went bald, and I really embraced it. I loved it, and it took away 20 minutes of changing and dressing time because combing hair. I'm sure most of you women who are on this uh, talk listening to me know that hair is something that we are always struggling with. Whether we have short hair, long hair, we're always constantly, shampoo it and then oil it and then comb it and blow dry it. I suddenly realized I have 25 minutes extra because I don't have hair, and I'm saving a lot of money because I don't have any beauty products to invest in. I don't have a parlor to go to. I don't have blow drying to do. So I just embraced it that way, and I said, the board look actually saves 20 minutes of dressing up time. And that was that. I just embraced that look. And if you ever check my social media, because I was very active, I'm still very active. I was putting up pictures, and let me tell you one thing, that from the diagnosis in Feb till about June of 2018, no one really knew I had cancer. They just thought that I have gone bald because I've turned 40 and it's one of those quirky things I wanted to do. Many people thought I had gone to Tirupati and donated my hair there. It's only after 6 odd months that people realized that I was fighting cancer or I was undergoing that treatment, is when they realized that, oh, she's got cancer. Because if you look at my media, social media or my pages from those days, it was just normal. Everything was just normal. I was posting, writing, I was meeting people, all of that. So, yeah, so those are some of the learnings that I had, is that embrace the beauty in you, which I really did, and I really liked what I saw in the mirror. I really liked what I saw in the mirror. I loved myself at that point. I used to dress up in saris, western wear, whatever I felt like, and walk with confidence. I've attended weddings. I've gone for, a lot of functions with, saris and the ball look, but it looked really nice. So that is something I realized again. So these are some incidents that happened during the chemo. Um, I'm not sure what more I should be saying, but if you have questions, please unmute and ask me. I would be happy to answer. It's not easy to encapsulate 1 or 2 years um, in an hour. All I can say, and it will sound repetitive, is that the day I was going for my surgery, I was in office till 2 o'clock because they wanted me to admit me at 6 in the evening for the next day surgery. So I went to office, I wrapped up my work, I handed over whatever I had to, spent time with my family, and then I went into the hospital. Uh, the surgery per se was all okay, but because there was extremely a lot of fluid that was being released, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks because of that. My stint in the hospital was very, very unique. The staff in site care is extremely caring. They're very watchful. They're very kind. I used to sit and chat with the nutritionists, the marketing people, the CEO. They would just come to my room and I would spend time with them, talk to them, chat with them. My husband and I were asked to do a psychological evaluation during this time. And the psychologist, I think, gave us a very good compliment that we don't need psychological support or any kind of support because two of us are quite planned and prepped for what is happening in our lives right now. So I used to spend a lot of time walking around in the hospital with the bag hanging or reading. Again, if somebody asks me, I don't know if it sounds nice or not, but to me, my stint in the hospital was just like an extended holiday. It was actually a break from all the stress of the world, where I was just in one room doing whatever I wanted at the pace I wanted and recovering from something that I had to do it. I had to recover from. So I never really gave even that so much importance. My doctor did tell me that if the surgery goes well, then I'm in a safe place, which I'm glad that once they did the surgery, I was told that the lump has reduced, we've taken it out, and now it's again another round of chemo and another round of radiation. In all of this, I know I'm making it sound extremely easy. It wasn't, but the point was that my motto was C for courage, and I just had to do it. I just had to live it. I was not ready to die. I was not prepared to let go of all the things that I loved doing and wanted to still do. So I was very, very clear that I'll go through anything and everything, but I will come out of it. And I'm very sure of that. That spirit really helped. Another thing that I did, which really helped me, and when I look back, normally what happens is that when you're going through something like this, your family, friends, community, anyone who cares for you wants to know how you're doing. And it's fair. It's really fair for people who love you. They want to know how you're doing. They want to call. And I'm sure all of you have experienced this. Aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, everybody will call to check on how you're doing. The one thing that I did, I'm not sure if it is the right thing, but I think it helped me a lot, is the day I got diagnosed, I was very clear I will not talk to people who talk to me about cancer. I'll talk to people about everything, anything, but not about cancer. We made a group. It is a WhatsApp group. It's called Nina's Happy People. We put everybody on that group, cousins, friends, family, besties, anyone who was interested in my welfare, and we told them not to call us every day or every week. So we used to put periodical updates, and we would tell them to message. We would tell them to send their wishes on message. The day I would go for chemo, I would actually write saying that I'm going for chemo, send me your good wishes, it's important. It saved us a lot of mental and emotional stress when we both didn't take too many calls. What we did is, from my side, my mother became my shield. She took the calls, she informed relatives, she spoke to people. On my husband's side, his mother became the shield that she will talk to everyone and keep them posted on how I'm doing. These are very simple things, but these are things that really kept us positive because we were not repeating what's happening to me. We were not getting emotionally stressed out. We were focused on my recovery. And I have shared this with a lot of people where I have heard them tell me that this was actually a very good strategy to ensure that we keep our morale high. And I keep my morale high because I'm sure all of you know that, the repetition of something that is painful or is uncomfortable for us is not easy to do all the time. It's not easy to talk about it and be brave all the time about it. So in order for me to be brave, I said I will keep in touch on WhatsApp. I will tell all those people who care for me exactly what's happening in my life, but at a time when I'm ready to, when I want to. And that really, really helped us because the first stage of chemo, the surgery, and the second cycle of chemo, which was every week, was quite exhaustive for me physically. uh, to take chemo every week and still manage is a little difficult. So I planned in such a way that the stress levels around me are lesser so that I can focus on just being who I am and being happy. That's another thing, friends, I want to share with you all that happiness is one of the biggest things which is not easy to get. It is very difficult, but it's the simplest thing. I used to find happiness in having a bowl of ice cream after a chemo because my taste buds had nothing. I could taste nothing except sugar. Though I was eating khana, I was eating my breakfast, but there was no taste in my mouth. It was forever. I always had that sick, nauseous feeling 24 by 7. And the only things that used to make me feel really nice was maybe like a little ice cream or a little, those orange candies that you get. I always kept those candies with me. And I said, it's okay. I'm just going to eat one so that it makes me feel happy. If I feel happy, my body will respond to the treatment better. My mind will be ready to say, yes, I can do it. So my focus was that. Another thing that I constantly did every day was a sense of meditation, a sense of gratitude. Again, over there, it's about believing in it. But for me, it has worked. Listening to mantras, I think, if I may say so, that, the Hanuman Chalisa or Gayatri Mantra or the Naukar Mantra, Buddhist chants. So I just didn't get mantras from my own community or religion, but it was from across. I still have that playlist. I listen to it every day, even now, before I start work, when I get up in the morning. And that kept me so aligned to my spiritual self. Yes, these are not things people think about when they're going through treatment, but these are things that really help you pull through those tough times. To me, it is something that really helped me pull through that tough time is being mindful, doing my meditation every day, doing my chants every day, absolutely finding a reason every day to be happy. That reason could be buying something. I mean, I was shopping like crazy when I say that, because it used to make me happy. Ice creams used to make me happy. Books used to make me happy. So I used to find a reason every day to do something that would make me happy. And I'm very, very honestly telling you that I know these are the things that worked in my favor. Um, if there are any questions, please ask me. And then otherwise, I can just continue with a few more incidents from my life.
Meenakshi, can we give you a big hand?
Sorry?
Can we give you a big hand clap, all of us? Thank you. Other members would like to talk with you and share what they went through. So I call upon them. Pushpa, you want to talk? Anyone? We have
Meenakshi, to me, it's sorry. Go ahead, Padma.
No, you. Murli, go ahead.
Okay. So for me, it's like you said, struck you on day one was not something that you discovered on that day. Something tells me that this was within you from your childhood. So can you share something about your upbringing or the way you dealt with things? I mean, when you say that you had to find something to be happy every day, right? That's very unusual, I must say. A large part of the population will not be like that. So it will be helpful, like what was your childhood or maybe early teenage years? I mean, how did you develop that attitude?
That's a very, very interesting question, Murli. In fact, my book, which will be out in April, has a lot of anecdotes of where I have learnt this from. A little about my childhood is I'm the youngest of three siblings. I'm a Marwari by community. I grew up in a semi-conservative environment. My parents really focused on education and upskilling and hobbies, but they didn't let me go out and party and go all nuts. So, and I embraced that. My mother and my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. So I can just tell you this, that I was cooking at the age of 10. I knew how to sew, I knew how to paint, I knew how to embroider, I knew how to bake. You name the skill that a girl should know, and I think I knew that by the age of 13. So that was the kind of upbringing I had. I have been an academic topper all my life. So between my father, mother, and my grandparents and their aspirations, I tried to fulfill everything. So my father always wanted me to come first and be an academic topper and focus on books and reading. My mother, of course, from where she comes from, she's an artist. She's the one who taught me how to paint and how to have hobbies in life. But she also wanted me to learn how to cook and manage the house, all at a very young age. My grandmother, who's today 88, is very, very, she's somebody who trained me uh, in embroidery, stitching, and the ladies will understand, sari mein fall lagana, if your clothes are torn, how do you mend them? I have learned all of that. I've learned how to polish shoes the right way and iron trousers the right way, like a dhobi does. And I used to always tell my father that for all the education I'm doing, if I don't get anything, I can be a very good house help because I know everything inside out. I can wash vessels with such great finesse as well. So mostly that was my upbringing. I've been a very happy person throughout my life because for me, what happens to you is what you have to embrace. If at that point my mother is expecting me to make tea at 4 in the evening, I don't need to crib about it just because I'm a teenager and I should throw a tantrum. I would embrace it and I would say, okay, I'll make you tea and then I will read my book. It is as simple as that. I've never had conflict in my life. I have two elder brothers, but I've never really fought with them. I'm really genuinely, from very young age, been one of those people who adapts to whatever is thrown in front of her. If you ask me and if you tell me that, Meenakshi, we have to stop this conversation immediately, I'm okay with it. I will not react. I don't have reactions. I think that's one reason also why when I was told in Vikram Hospital that, you have stage 3 cancer, I really didn't react. For me, it was you're giving me a piece of news. Now I need to figure out what I have to do with that piece of news. I can shatter myself. I can say everything's come to an end. I can feel very, very, I can feel like a victim. I can feel like God's not been kind to me. I can feel all of that. But I chose to feel that if God has given this to me, I just want to share with you that before my first chemo, a friend of mine gave me a card and it said that God gives mountains to those who can move it. And that's really beautiful. And that's how I've taken it, that I have been given this because maybe I'm the only one who has the courage to see this through. So for me, I think it has come from younger years, younger days. I've been in a bad marriage before. I was married at 21. It was a marriage of mental and physical abuse. I had to leave that house when I was 27. So I have seen that as well. So yeah, maybe life has taught me, and I have never ever contradicted what's happening to me. As an attitude, I never contradict what's happening to me. I never ask why. I always say, okay, if it's happening to me, I'm going to figure out the way to do it in the best way possible. I am a little competitive, Murli. Because of being an academic topper and trying to be the best at everything, I had to be the best even in surviving cancer. So yeah, I was a little competitive that, if someone can do it, it's me and I have to do it in the best way possible. So yeah, so maybe that also helped. I think the competitive streak helped. I hope that answers your question.
Well, it will take me some time to digest all this. So I'll give the forum. I'll hand it over to the others now.
Sure. Any other questions? I'd be happy to answer. Like I said, I have a bag full of stories about 1 year of treatment and 4 years of remission, 5 years of remission after that, which actually is not the easy part. Everyone stops at being cancer free and everyone stops at, oh, the treatment is over, you're alive, great. Nobody tells you what comes after that. My heaviest mountains to move have come after the cancer treatment. 5 years of remission has actually been the adventure. I developed a heart disease, heart condition post chemo, extreme levels of thyroid. I have developed so many side effects that 5 years I've just been, like when you go on a treasure hunt and you keep finding one after the other certain elements, right? So for me, 5 years have been that treasure hunt. So year one was, oh, I have thyroid levels which have gone crazy. Year two was a heart condition. Year three was pre-diabetic. And of course, then COVID has not helped in 100% recovery because my radiation was in the chest, my lungs are weak. The COVID vaccine was not really the best thing, but okay, we are all alive. So the remission part of it is what I normally like to tell people and share my story with about is that is where your strength has to really be full throttle. It has to be 100%. See, it's very, very easy. The day, when you're doing treatment, you're totally under the doctor's care, and the doctors will make sure that you are cancer free with all the medication they can give you, all the drugs, all the chemicals that can be put in you, and they will ensure that that happens. But the day they give you that receipt, they say, okay, you're done, you're clean, you're clear. Um, it's 4 months, 3 months, 6 months after that. And I'm sure people who've survived in their own forms have realized sometimes it's the muscles becoming weak, sometimes it's inflammation, sometimes it's migraines, small things that make you feel that you have to fight to be normal. So that is something that I've shared in my book as well, but this is something that I like to talk about is that after you are cancer free, don't give up. That is when your real focus on yourself starts. Ensure you have, don't give up on your diet, don't give up on your exercise, don't give up on lifestyle changes that need to be made because of what has happened to you. I was a party animal. I used to party 4 days a week. I would be in, lounges and have house parties and all of that. If you ask me today, it's not because of the cancer. I think I've also grown older. But today, I would prefer to spend 1 hour meditating in the morning, or I would spend 2 hours painting every day as a hobby because that keeps me happy or stress free. I still have weak muscles. I still have weak lungs. I still have all sorts of issues that crop up because of my heart condition. But let me tell you again that since 2018 to 2024, today as I speak with you, um, I've had many more good days than I've had bad. And I think that is what keeps me going. Um, it's very easy to stop because you have a headache, or it's very easy to stop because your legs are hurting. The days my legs are hurting, I put my feet up and then I read a book. But I don't give up. The days I have a migraine, I put lots of balm, tie my hair up nicely, and I work from home. The only thing that I don't do as much is socialize a lot because maybe that's a phase in life. I've traveled a lot. Entire COVID, I was traveling when the whole world was sitting at home. I really took the risk of my life, wearing 2 masks and traveling. This was the peak of 2020. I had moved home from Bangalore to Bombay. I went to Calcutta, I went to Delhi, I came back to Bangalore. In 1 year, I must have boarded at least 9 flights or 10 flights um, at the peak of whatever wave one that we had. But my schedule, my eating, my sleep, my medication. Today, if I show you my medicine box, you'll say, are you sure you're cancer free? Because I'm taking like 18 supplements every day. But it's important. And I really treat it like my candy box. If 1 second, I just really want to show you how how interesting I make my life even when I'm taking medicine. So this is my medicine box. It's a Mario Miranda, who's a very famous cartoonist who's no more. It's a medicine box from his store. So if you look at the caricatures, it's very cute. It's really cute. It's got a joke at behind. And I have like these colorful pills that I have to take every day. But I have made a party out of this as well, that if I have to take medicines, I might as well take them in a fun manner and not cry every morning about starting my day with a thyroid and then ending my day with a heart medicine or whatever. So I'm sharing all this with you all because these are the small things that are in our control. And it sounds very philosophical, but really, you and I don't know when we are going to go and how we are going to go. All we know is that we're here, so we need to make the best of our time. When I'm sure you all read the papers, when people have cardiac arrests, they go away suddenly. My mom went away that way. I lost my mother 6 months back. Within 2 hours, she was gone. And that time I felt that at least when they told me I had stage 3, I had a few months to say bye to people in case I was going. So it's not about going, or it's not about suffering. It's not about how bad it is. It's just about so many things that in our control we can do to make sure we get past it. There are people who have a lot more things. I mean, and then please don't get me wrong. I know cancer is a very, very serious challenge that we face as humans, but for everyone, their challenge is equally difficult. For me, it was dealing with chemo. For somebody else, it was just a viral fever, but that person couldn't get out of bed for 5 days. So I don't ever think that I had a condition that was worse than somebody else's. Someone was having a financial problem that drove them into a depressed state of mind because they couldn't solve their problem. So I really think that, we all have problems. On this call itself, I would welcome all of you to tell me, someone tells me that they don't have a challenge, health wise, emotionally, family, work, financial. We all have it. And that's what I always thought when I felt that, oh, I'm going through this, but I would always look at 15 other people and say, no, no, but everyone's got their own thing. You have to just figure out how to find peace through that tough time and how to find happiness in anything with whatever it takes to stay sane, to stay happy, and to make sure you get past it. Like even today, I'm not kidding you, I sleep with a fear every day. What if it comes back? Every scan of mine in the last 5 years, my scan happens on Diwali, that's October time. The whole world is celebrating Navratri, Dashera, Diwali, and I have anxiety attacks simply because I have to go through a PET scan only to know whether I am cancer free or not. So it's not that I don't go through that, but I have made it a part of my life. And even today, because touchwood, I've stayed 5 years in remission, it still doesn't guarantee anything. And the only thing in my control is to live each day, just live it, and then see what happens tomorrow. So yeah, so I really want people to understand that remission is important. That's why it's called that. But to be happy in remission is more important so that the cancer doesn't come back. And for somebody who was given 6 months, and to somebody, I must tell you this because I met my doctor recently and he said he forgot that I'm in remission from 5 years. And he said, oh, I was giving you only 1 year. I thought in 1 year it's going to come back. And he was so proud of me, and I was so proud of myself that for 5 years I have managed to keep it at bay. I have been doing everything I can to stay happy, sane, healthy, and I was very happy when he said that I'm glad you went past that 1.5 year risk that you had. So, so yeah. Any questions, anything? I'm sorry, I'm just rambling away because there's so much to share, and I'm really privileged to be here. Actually.
One thing is for sure, Meenakshi, you're not rambling, not at all.
Thank you, Moody.
Meenakshi, thank you for talking from your heart. Really, thank you very much. Because what you have done, among other things, is normalize death. And what you have proved is acceptance is all. I want to live. I think that's what all of us need to show our gratitude to the divine being for giving us this life. Really, thank you. And this is not the end. This is just me speaking from my heart, okay? And the other thing I wanted to say is amazing that with all these challenges, you continue to work. That was another wonderful thing. And accepting your bald head. I
Like
think
I said, you can go to my Facebook since you're friends with me, Padma, and you'll see that I've had a blast with my bald look.
we have one person, Anaka. I don't know why she's not opening up. She has sent a whole lot of pictures with a bald head.
Wow.
Anaka, are you there? No, she is not there. So anyone else would like to join? Ask. Let us extend this beautiful time of sharing, which is what we want in Connect to Heal. And we believe mind matters in cancer cure. And you have proved that above all doubts.
I would like to just tell everyone that I've joined this group because firstly, I've known Padma for some time now. I met Padma when I had started a little bit of my spiritual journey. And recently, when she got in touch with me, I was very, very honored and very grateful to come and be part of this group. So for anyone who just wants to talk to me separately as well, I'm very happy to, my number is on the group. So please do connect, ask me anything. You need any other kind of help, I'm always here. I had mentioned I'm a coffee coach. I love listening to people. So if there is anything, please let me know and I'll try my best to be there for you.
Better than rum and coke, huh?
Given up that, Padma. That used to be, but now it's coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nanda, okay. Whilst we are here, a few of us, let me get down to the group Connect to Heal. I would like to take it much further, include more people, because by and large, the stories I've heard, remember, I don't know whether you remember, Connect to Heal was born at Mother Tree.
Okay.
I had just lost my mother, and Priya told me, Padma, why don't you have a cancer group? I thought nothing like that. And our first meeting was in Mother Tree, and the key speaker that day was Kishore Rao. Okay, and amazing, Kishore Rao praised us for this. He said, urban women need this support, and all that. And then that's how he went on to another group. So I'm so happy that Mother Tree gave me also a beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I also rambling? I like
No,
your
not at all.
I like your credo. We are happy. Be happy. A lot of times when in our old system, they used to say Sukhi Raho. It's gone now. I think that's one of the greatest blessings one can get.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know. See, these are practices that I have put in for myself. So I look into the mirror every day and I feel awesome about myself. The days I'm not feeling awesome, I force myself to feel awesome about
Yeah.
myself. I'm very, I see, like you said, it's going to happen to all of us. At some point, we're all going to go, um, whatever age, whatever life phase we are in. My only prayer every day is that I don't want to go crying. I want to go with a smile. I want to go with my heart full that I've done so many things and I've lived my life with so much of fun. Like I've had a great time. And sometimes people think it's mumbo jumbo when you're talking to yourself, but trust me that these are the things that no one else can tell you, no matter how many best friends you have, no matter what supportive house. My husband's been a great support to me. Someday I would definitely want him to come and share a caregiver's point of view to you. That he stopped working for a year just so that I could work and I could live and I could have a life. And the things that he has done for me are phenomenal as a husband. I think as a partner who was in it with me 100%. But again, over there, it's all about what you tell yourself. It's about what you feel every day. If you feel grateful every day for whatever is happening with you and however your life is going, because you will find that little ray of sunshine, in all the bad things that are happening or all. I mean, I'm trying to correlate where I'm sure there are days when the maid doesn't turn up and we're like, oh God, why didn't the maid come? I had so many things to do. I have this to do. I get stressed out. I'm a super stressed out person when the maid doesn't come. It's like, when I tell people this, they'll say, you survived cancer and you're the one who's crying because the maid didn't come. Yeah, that's me. I mean, I have daily stresses when the food doesn't arrive on time. But, and then I have to make it light for myself. Okay, the maid didn't come. Fine. Let me just do the dishes. Breathe. Just breathe. That's how you have to carry on with life. And each one of us has our own stresses. For somebody, the maid not coming is nothing. It's no big deal. But for someone like me, it's like, oh, my whole day has gone for a toss because she didn't turn up. So, but we all have to find that little thing that makes one day of our life enough for us to say, I'm happy, I'm alive. I'm grateful, I'm alive. So, and that is something that the last 5, 10 years of my life uh, I've seen that pulls you through the toughest of times.
Maybe we'll invite you once again to talk about mindfulness.
Thank you. Now that I'm part of the group, you can tell me anytime, Padma.
Thank you for accepting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And like I said, anything that I can do to support,
Sure.
help.
I have a long list. I'll talk with Muralidhar and Sunanda and send it to you by Danzo.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Anyone?
Any of the other members who would like to ask or just share with me, I'd be very happy, to listen and and get some insight into your lives as well.
Hi, Meenakshi. My name is Abhilash. I had so thank you for sharing your story with us. So I just have like a small question. So you mentioned that you encountered a lot of misconceptions, especially with medical professionals. Like also that really surprised me. So I just want to know, would you have any advice on to anyone how to deal with that better, or how did you finally get to where you got?
Thank you, Abhilash. That question is very interesting. So, like I told you, and if I take the names of those hospitals, it's not going to be good. But at that point, when I got diagnosed and someone said that I have breast cancer because I chose not to have children, it really offended me as an individual. And someone said, "Oh, you're a working woman," and this is coming from an oncologist in a hospital. My advice on how to deal with it is what I did. So I did have a reaction. I was offended. I was upset. I said, "Who are you to judge my life?" And that momentary thing happened. And then I said, it's literally a prayer that God help me deal with these idiots with grace. So I'm really sorry, but that's what I told myself, that I will not deviate from the person I am. I will not deviate from the purpose I have. The purpose is to get better. The purpose is to heal. So I'm not going to let these medical professionals dictate my life. Very honestly, you have a doctor, you have medical help where you have to trust them because they know the best, right? But eventually, it is you and the purpose of life that you have. I have seen the difference of being in Vikram Hospital, Shankara, HCG, Manipal, and then site care. And in every place, you will encounter medical professionals who you get connected to, you like them, you think they will save you. There are times when you don't like the technician who's drawing blood from your vein because he or she is not extremely polite and he's just doing his job. There are times a nurse will pull your bed with such a jerk that you want to shout at that person that you're a patient and that person's not treating you like a patient. So there are a lot of things that one encounters in the cancer journey from daycare. I mean, my experience of daycare and site care was like going on a picnic. And I'm not kidding you. I know I'm using such a word, but I used to go there. They knew the bed I wanted, so they would keep that bed for me. Um, Once the saline flush and whatever has to start, they would come and ask me what I want to eat. I would have 5 options for breakfast, 3 options for juice. And while all that was happening, I used to be taking office calls with this hand. And to me, it was like my office people used to wonder, "आप क्या कर रहे हो? कीमो पे होना है." I'm like, "कीमो हाथ में लग रहा है, मुंह पे थोड़ी लग रहा है." And I would finish my entire morning, what handover of work, aligning the work that my 15-20 member team had to do before 11. Because the hospital was so supportive, they were so mindful about a patient like me, and they didn't mind that I'm using the phone and I'm talking, because for them also my state of mind was bigger than the chemical they were pushing into me. During my radiation, I had to do radiation for 5 weeks every day. Every day I used to go to Airport Road, New Airport Road, for 9 minutes of radiation. The first day they put me on radiation, I lost it. I became so panicky because it is a ice cold room and there is no one there, and they just strip you off and they put you on that bed and you can't move. I I felt very scared. And then I went and told the radiologist, I said, "Listen, I can't do this. And for 5, 6 weeks, I can't. I will feel very anxious." So he said, "What do you want?" I said, "Can you play some music for me? Because I need something to keep me busy while that 9 minutes of radiation is happening, because I can't even move a limb." And you won't believe it. For 6 weeks, he had a playlist for me every day. Mohammed Rafi, Kishore Kumar, English old songs, ghazals. Every day I would walk in and he would say, "अच्छा आज आपको क्या सुनना है? बता दो फिर मैं चला देता हूँ." Um, Again, over there, my advice to people who are going through certain things is ask for what you want to make your treatment better. And it's not just site care. Many hospitals, many medical professionals are very, very supportive. A lot of us get so intimidated by the treatment that we forget to ask, we forget to share, we forget to request. "I want a bed by the window. Please, can you get that done? Can I please get a little warm water instead of normal water?" We don't. We're so caught up in what the doctor is telling us that we forget to focus on ourselves. And I truly think that that was one differentiating factor for me from day one of the chemo to the last day of radiation. I focused on myself. And because I focused on myself, the doctors focused on me. And I genuinely mean that to anyone who's undergoing treatment. Please try that. You will see a difference in the way you are treated and the way you feel treated. And all of us at first is healing. If that feeling is good, the worst injection, chemo is a drug that kills you. I mean, it's a drug that cures you, but it kills everything inside you, all the good things that a human body has. But we still take it because we know that it's going to cure us. So ask for what you want with the medical professionals. And like I said, if you come across idiots, just treat them with grace. There's nothing else you can do. I hope that answered, Abhilash.
Yeah, that did. Thank you for that.
Anyone else has questions, I'm happy to answer. I don't know if my answers are going to make any impact, but I must tell you, my profession is that of a storyteller, so I'm happy telling stories all the time.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We are absorbing everything you said, and not only about cancer treatment, but about life. And by the way, since you also like music, we have a very important member, Murali, who is crazy about music.
Oh,
I
nice.
suppose with both of you, we can have a musical evening.
I can't sing, but I know a lot of Bollywood. I love music. I just love listening to
Maybe playlist you can share with him. Something
it's very
because
therapeutic. It's
yeah,
very
because we have lot of talks, but we need something to make us experience happiness. So that's it.
If I'm allowed to share on the group that you've made me a part of, I would love to share a few things that have really instilled the kida of happiness in me. That whether I have something or not, I have to stay happy. That's my everyday ambition in life, actually.
Maybe we can make it our motto, happiness. I remember we had a program about 2 years back on happiness, and that program had the most number of people.
Because we're all looking for it, Padma. We're all always searching for that thing that can make us happy. So, yeah.
You feel like we should let you go? Anyone else? Okay. It's 1 now. We won't take more of your
I
thing.
just want to say one thing, Padma, before I go, because I've heard this as feedback in the last couple of years. So some people who came up to me and they said, only, and if I'm going to say it in Hindi, but I'll repeat it in English. They said, "अरे ये तो आप ही ऐसा कर सकते हो, सबके साथ ऐसा नहीं होता है." So basically, that only I'm capable of doing things like this for myself, and not everybody is capable. So my request is that it's not about that. It's really not about that. There is a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, but and it's not that I'm special. No, I'm not. I've really, really faced all my demons in that 1 year to come out strong. And it is something that everyone can do. Let me just say one thing, that for me, my ambition in life, or my book also, is about that middle class person who does not have the liberty to sit back and hope that somebody will pay her bills, or somebody will take care of her life, and somebody will make sure things move. And I am that middle class person. I'm not saying that my family will not support me, but I'm talking about me. And I know that I had heavy duty medical bills to pay during the cancer journey. I didn't want to quit working and put all the burden on my husband. I could have done that, but I just didn't want to. And I'm one of those people that I have also worked with some women who have had breast cancer, women who are housewives, who have young children, women who have to work because there's nobody else who earns a livelihood in their house. And my entire purpose is that for those who can afford to put their feet up and go through the treatment, God has been kind to you. For those who cannot, we need to find the courage within ourselves. So it's not about one person. I think if one person can find courage, we are all born with courage. We just need to discover it. So, especially in the group, if there's anyone going through something, you've been given the mountain because only you can move it. Nobody else has that strength. And you have to tell yourself that every day. That why is God testing you? Because you're strong. God never tests the weak. He just lets the weak be. And he only gives the mountains to those who have the ability to move them. So, and that is something that I want to advocate, I want to talk about. I want people to understand that even if you have cancer and you have responsibilities to fulfill, you can do both of them with a lot of support, with a lot of great positive attitude. So that's what I did. I can't say I fought this battle alone. I had a lot of friends, family who prayed for me every day. And then that also helped. That really helped. So thank you so much, Padma, for having me over. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this meet and listening to my story. I'm extremely honored to share it here. And as part of Connect to Heal, if I can do anything for anyone here, I would really try my best to do that.
I want to share one story with the group, a short one. When we started this movement, Connect to Heal, there was quite a few newspaper write-ups about it. And you won't believe, I got calls from Hassan, Shivamogga, those places, wanting to know whether they can donate any money. And these were all school teachers earning minimum wages. So that really shook me. I said, this disease brings out something divine in all of us. And with that, I would say thank you once again.
Thank you, everyone. And have a good evening, a good weekend, all of you.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm going to
stay in touch on the group.
thank you.
Padma. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Pushpa, you did not talk much.
I'm Nalini.
Nalini.
I listened totally.
I hope I didn't bore you, Nalini, ma'am. I hope I didn't.
No. Very interesting.
Thank you, Meenakshi, for your talk.
Thank you, Pushpa. Thank you so much.
We'll
Thank you for
connect
being here. I'm
sometime.
really, of
We'll
course.
connect sometime.
Anytime.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you, Padma.
Okay, bye.
Padma, thank you for arranging this nice Zoom meeting.
Bye. God bless you.
Bye.
God bless you.
Thank you. Same
Thank
to
you.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Nalini, hope to see you more often.
Definitely, I'll come.
And with those laddus.
I'll bring. We can meet one day.
Yeah. Sunanda, at last we see you. Want to say a few words?
I think people have started to drop off the call.
Okay. So we will wrap up. Murli?
Yes, let's wrap up. I'll stop the recording.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.